Second down and short, what I like to see.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Now they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Out of the gun. 1. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he's got a first down as a tackle made at the Bills' 40.
As far as I'm concerned, Andrew Luck can do it all. I mean, he's an underrated runner, toughness in the pocket, strong and stout. But let's face it, the money, that comes from his arm.
And now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 40, the 30, 10, and he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
The point after is good. And that makes the score 7-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. 18 big yards.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. This is Michelle on the counter, and not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. A look now at the Buffalo defense. They were terrific a week ago in the win over the Lions.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's about what you consider the break-even mark. If you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but pretty nice effort.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down.
He's coming. We got double up.
They'll fake it. Now Love. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. A first carry now. This is Williams. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. The numbers on the ground for Williams a week ago. 12 carries, 70 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. 14 yards, and the Bills will get a new set of downs. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
A few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. Wide open receiver complete. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the...
He runs slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Patriots defense is going to take over on down. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I have both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here. 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation. We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Only a yard on the gain there, and that'll set up 3rd and 13. Start of the 2nd quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Here's Riley Dixon now as he'll punt it away for the second time. This will be fielded at the 17. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference. It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
He'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, and you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
A big play here for Buffalo. 43 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo 1st down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run it with Williams. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
They'll try and run for it, and he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. On the ground, Michel. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From the 17, Luck caught by his tight end, Wesco. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Luck, and his throw's going to be incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read. And get his guys the football back.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On the toss, here's Williams. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. On 2nd and 9, Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
We play to win. Let's go. Five wide. 54. Let's go.
They'll run on first down. It's Williams, and he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
I got 56.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great play there. With touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Bills will add on to their lead. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. The extra point up and good. And it's now 14-0. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends in a Buffalo touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Andrew Luck and company heading back onto the field. He and his team, they have had a rough go of it here in this first half. Maybe time for him to put his foot down here in the second quarter.
Put his foot down and become a little more accurate throwing the football. He's already thrown 2 interceptions. He's trying to find a way to equal things out. And instead of it going to the opponents, get it to his own receivers and find the end zone.
Yeah, you mentioned those 2 picks. No touchdown passes yet either. A running play on first down, and it turns into a fight just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll keep it on the ground again here, and they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. So he comes out of nowhere. He's got this handlebar mustache, greasy hair, and he says, would you rather eat a jar of mayonnaise or 3 sticks of butter? And I'm all right, never mind. Third quarter action now. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3-score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. And he's going to go down again.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Instead, they go empty backfield as they look to throw. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, we quit counting yardage on that one, didn't we? That was truly 3rd and a mile, wasn't it?
It was. I thought they might just go underneath, but they didn't. They wanted to get the first down there.
Yeah, they tried to pick up the huge chunk unsuccessfully. I'm with you. I would have tried to take some yardage.
Now a hit and a loose football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Buffalo. A big play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point up and through, and it's now 21-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Fielded about a yard deep. And now look at him go. 30, the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New England. From one end zone to the other, 101 yards. And the Patriots make some inroads here on that deficit.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the but correct me if I'm wrong, sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there. And
a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Get ready.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense. Get a couple of first.
Allen hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pick up there.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
On first down, Harding. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They stay on the ground this time. It's Williams. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
Kill.
On the ground, this is Williams. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. 15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first.
319. Good track. Watch out.
They'll run on first down. Williams. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Jet bomber.
And now they'll throw with Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The busy night continues for Williams. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. They'll run it with Williams. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
They may have the edge on the scoreboard, but that hasn't made them passive, has it? I mean, they dialed up a pretty good run blitz there. And Brandon, you know that all blitzes aren't just designed to get to the quarterback and the passer. Sometimes you're just trying to take away every gap, every hole that might be created in the running game, and they did it to perfection and caused a fumble there.
Took away the gaps, took away the holes, took away the football.
Switch.
And it's Michel once again. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, third and 1. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And he will have the first down here as he's up to the 15.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now a first down throw, Locke. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle, and he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night, and that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. On first down, it's Long. That's out to his running back, Michelle. Well, the ball is out. Michelle lost it. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now Allen. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be second and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. Second and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Again, it's Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking.
And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And he cuts it right into space. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And he is in. Touchdown, New England. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. And you know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
So they need to determine.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point safely through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Patriots offense now, they worked their way back onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Love. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Here's Locke. And he'll get that to Michel, complete. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Throwing on 3rd down, Locke to Michel on the screen. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. And he's got a first down as the tackle made at the Bills' 45-yard line.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. To the air again, Locke. Catch is made by Harry. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. trying to pound it in here with Michel. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll get a report when we return to Foxborough. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Patriots with the football as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. Throwing is Locke. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he is going to score. It's a pick 6 and a Bills touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And now it's blocked. And the Patriots have it. Accelerating, and off he goes. He's at the 40, past the 20, and all the way into the end zone, and that's 2 points. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Luck now to throw. He's going to let it fly. It got his man complete. A big play there for New England. 47 yards. Here's Luck. Got a man open. That's Harry. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. To throw again on 2nd down. Luck. He finds his target. Beckham. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Odell Beckham. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Patriots get a score closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film. But this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to 18. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at his 4. And terrific field position here as they finally get him just shy of the midfield stripe.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. They begin the drive with Williams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better, and that got it done in this one.
So for Buffalo, they continue to keep pace for that first-round bye as they move to 11-1. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Patriots, this loss cost them in the playoff chase as they fall back to 7-5 on the year. And they'll try again next